There we go. I miss the banter with the players. I miss the 90 minutes on the pitch, but I do not miss the politics and the backstabbing that goes on within the referee fraternity. And if your face don't fit, I just, that's not for me.
You see, I think that's fascinating. You've talked about it, you've read about it, obviously you've written about it rather. It's what us football fans in the stand moaning don't know about. I mean, you talk about line managers, some other sort of managers this, that, who are these people? Who are these faceless people that us football fans don't know about?
Well, you never hear from them, do you? You've got the the line manager is Kieran Barrett, and then obviously you've got the general manager who's been the general manager since Keith Hackett retired, Mike Riley.
Did you ever get on with Mike Riley? When
we were referees in the select group together, we used to talk. Wouldn't share a room with him or anything. I never shared rooms with him, but you would most probably pass comment or pass conversation now and again. I wouldn't say he was most probably my cup of tea as a person. He always kept himself to himself, to be fair. Make no bones about the fact I think I was discriminated against, and in the end constructive dismissal. That's my personal belief, and I even complained to certain people above Mike, the way I was being treated, and you could ask any referee on that select group. You can stand them up in the court of law with the oath and ask them, and they all would say that the way I was treated was appalling. And they used to ring me up every week, or we used to text each other when the fixtures come out, and they'd just say, "What are they doing to you, Taxi?" That's my nickname, Taxi. But the way you're treating you is ridiculous. To referee 1 week out of every 4 on the Premier League, you just can't do it. You just cannot do that. You have to keep your match fitness up. You've got to keep your fitness going, your match and your mental strength, your mental toughness to referee these games. And when you're doing 1 in 3, 1 in 4, you just can't referee at the top level doing 1 in 4 weeks. And when I did get a game, it'd most probably, they'd give me a game, it'd most probably be live on Sky, and I used to get texts from people saying, "Looks like they're setting you up, Tax, be careful, make sure you go out and prove them wrong." And that's what I was getting from my fellow colleagues. Really? Yeah. They just didn't know how to handle me. I think that they never thought that someone like me would bounce back from that illness, and they didn't know how to handle me. Now, I don't think they didn't like the way I was popular with the media. People liked me, managers liked me, players liked me. If you go back to Mike Riley, no player liked him and no manager liked him as a referee. I think that's true just even now as a general manager. You don't hear from him, do you? He doesn't come out, he doesn't talk, he doesn't defend his referees.
But you say that's never going to happen. You say referees will never come out, explain decisions.
I don't think the referees should. I mean, because we all know the media. They lead them down a garden path. You're not media trained. They could walk all over them. But for me, someone like the general manager should come out, like a manager comes out and defends his players to the hill, even though if he's done something wrong. And the general manager should be coming out. I mean, Pete Walton, who went for the job, a good ref, a good friend of mine. Pete Walton went for the job with Mike Riley, and Keith Hackett strongly recommended that Pete Walton should get the job. Pete Walton has been in charge of many men. He was a big manager, a big player for Eon. Okay, so he knows how to manage people, treat people, talk to people. Okay, now he's gone across to the MLS. And he's doing a terrific job by all accounts. All accounts doing a terrific job. Now he goes out and talks to the media on behalf of his referees when something's happened. Well, they've got a big key match incident wrong. That's what should happen here. But unfortunately, and everybody would tell you this, Mike Riley cannot do that. He cannot do that. He doesn't know how to talk to people. And in my opinion, he's a bully and a control freak. And I can tell you that now. Okay? Yeah, harsh words, and that's my opinion. My opinion. Okay, other referees are frightened. They're absolutely frightened to say anything because they know it will come back to haunt them. They go missing. Referees at this level now, at the select group level, are frightened. I went to a game. I was commentating for BT, and the match officials ignored me. Okay, ignored me. All right. I then meet this match official at Euston Station. Okay, and he comes up and he apologises for not talking to me. He says, "And you know the reason why I'm not allowed to talk to you?" because the line manager was Kieran Barrett, they weren't allowed to talk to me. Now, how ridiculous is that? So then, from what I understand, he then sends an email to Mike Riley that he bumped into me at Euston Station, covering his back to say that he spoke to me at Euston Station. How pathetic that.
So it sounds like the referee's set up.
I bump into another referee's dad.
Yes.
Who you know, who I haven't spoken to his referee in a long time, because he was hauled in and threatened with a sack if he's caught talking to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's scandalous. Scandalous. Now I know, okay, I work for BT Sport, okay? I know Dermot Gallagher and Alan Wiley that who now work for PGML, who go in and talk to Sky Sports News on a Monday, okay? They are allowed to talk to the referees if they've made a mistake on that weekend, and
right.
so they can talk about it on a Monday, right?
Right.
But they have to toe the party line. They have to say what Mike Riley tells them to say.
Well, it's sounding more and more like a dictatorship.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I said, yes, I've been approached to write a book. I said, but it will not come out until I finish refereeing. So if I finish refereeing this year, then it may come out. If I don't finish refereeing, it won't come out until when I finish. And then he went through everything. Well, you never got my permission, so I didn't think so. I didn't think I'd get your permission because it wouldn't have come out until I finished refereeing. And then he said to me, "Oh, by the way, you had two free tickets at Real Madrid Man United, and why did you not follow protocol?" I said, "Well, hang on a minute, Mike." I said, "I've been going out to Real Madrid for the last 3 years. You've known about that. PGML have known about that." I said, "Kieran Barrett even asked me to get a book signed for him when I went." And I said, last season I went to Bayern Munich, the Aztec Arena, to see Howard Webb referee Bayern Munich v Real Madrid in the first semi-final, first leg. I said, we even spoke about it. You didn't tell me about tickets and I had to follow protocol then. So, I said, fine, okay, no problem. In future, if I go to Madrid, I'll email you to let you know that I'm going. So, and that was in front of Mark Clattenburg. So Mark Clattenburg is my witness to say, okay then Mark, we'll leave it at that. We sat in this room, right, and I stand up in a court of law and swear on my daughter's life that this is what took place. First thing he said, look, you've got to make peace with Mike Riley. You two, you can't go the way you're going. I want you. You're a good referee, and I want you on this list, okay? And he said to me, I'm not going to get rid of him. I said, listen, I don't expect you to get rid of him. I don't expect that. I said, but what I do expect is he has to go away on courses on how to treat people, how to talk to people, how to manage people. And he said to me, I know he's got a lot of faults, but I want you to make it up with him. I want you two to sit in a room and narrate differences. I said, fine, I'll do that. He said, in a couple of weeks' time, I said, I want you two to get together. I'll get him to contact you. That never came. That contact never came. And then I said Kieran Barrett. I said, there's another one. He's a bully. If you upset him, you go missing. Okay? I said, there's another one who doesn't know how to handle people, how to treat people. And I said, as a coach, I said, all the referees are moaning about him because he hasn't got a clue how to coach referees. He hasn't got a clue. And his exact words with me, he says, I know, he said, I have many people complaining about him. And I don't know why he's still employed with the PGMOL. I don't know how he's employed. And he's still there. He's still there. Now, and Richard Scudamore said to me, I would deny I ever said that. That's when I was furious, absolutely furious. I rang up Peter Hurd, who was then the PGMOL chairman.
Yeah.
I said, Peter, I can't take this anymore. I said, what they're doing to, they're making me and my family, or my wife, who's still suffering with leukemia. I said, if anything happens to my wife, I said, I will come gunning for the PGMOL with a lawsuit. I'll tell you that now, because I am not happy with what's going on here, the way they're treating me. So he said, what do you want? I said, I'll have a year's salary. I'll walk away with a year's salary. I'll go, because I can't take any more. And he said, fine, okay, I'll get back to you. Come back to me, he said, well, make sure you walk away with 50,000 in your bank. I said, fine. I said, but I said, also I want to be able to write my book. He said, as long as you're not detrimental to the PGML. I said, listen, I am not. I praised the PGML for the way they looked after me when I was going through my illness. They paid me, and they didn't have to, they didn't have to, I suppose, but they did. So and I'm grateful for that. And I'm grateful to the PGML because they let me become a professional referee. He said, fine, I'll get back to you. So within an hour, he said, yeah, it's all done. The board have agreed that your package, and you can write your book. And then come the end of the season, I was letting them know that I was retiring, and they still wouldn't acknowledge me. Mike Riley wouldn't acknowledge me at our dinner at the end of the season. Didn't even say good luck to Saxey about he's finished with us. Didn't get a phone call from him. Didn't get a letter from him on the last game of the season. I didn't get, even when I did finish, I put it in writing. I had to put it in writing in the end. They wouldn't take it unless it was in writing. Never got a letter from the Football League, the Premier League, the PGMOL, the FA. Not even received my international cap from the FA yet when I've come off FIFA in 2006-2007. Still waiting for that to come. And then at the end of the season, I had to engage a barrister to sort everything out, which I had to pay him £2,500 to sort out the contract, because they sent through a 23-page confidentiality clause that I had to sign. That wouldn't let me do my book. Okay, and the book was all about inspiring men, women, and children as well living with cancer. So that's what it's about. And that's why I decided to walk away with nothing, because it's never come out. I got so depressed in the summer about it, because it went on right till July. And in June, something just went in the back of my head, and I went out in Spain in my car, and I contemplated committing suicide, because I was up to there with it. And my wife and daughter, they were terrified. They knocked on the next door neighbour's door. My good friend Fred Barber, who's a good friend, we were out on holiday together, and he came looking for me in the car. Unfortunately, he found me, and thank God he did, because the next day I just sat there and I said to myself, what on earth are you doing, Mark? What on earth are you doing? What were you going to do? What were you thinking of? But I was good friends with Gary Speed, and something inside you, when something inside you goes. But thankfully, I'm a long way from that now. And
I was surprised by the level of personal contact you were having with managers.
Listen, when you've been on the Premier League for 15 years, okay, you build up friendships with players. You referee the same players week in, week out. You're there with them. The managers are all the same.
Should you? Should a referee be friends with them?
Why?
I don't know.
Then why not? Why not? Them people were the same managers and players that got on the phone to me and text me and kept me going while I was fighting an illness, which I was a week or two away from not being here at all. So I'm sorry. I thought that's ridiculous.
Has it always been like this?
Yeah.
I've always,
of course it has. I'm an approachable person. People know what they get when I cross that white line. I'm Mark Halsey, the referee, and players, and that's why I had the respect from the players. That is why. Yes, I speak to people. If I didn't have that respect, why did Steven Gerrard go out of his way to find my number, get my own private number, and ring me at home and ask me to come and referee his testimonial?
Clearly, know Jose better than I do. He was having a laugh in the post-match interview, wasn't he? He's a football man. He knows that was a penalty. It wasn't a penalty, doesn't he?
He's defending his player. And what's wrong with that? We all know, and I wrote in my column, sorry Jose, but it definitely wasn't a penalty. I suppose if the boot was on the other foot, Jose would be saying what Steve Clarke was saying.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. You'll get one manager saying it's a penalty, you'll get another manager saying it's not a penalty.
But that was particularly bizarre and ridiculous, because it was nowhere near being a penalty.
No, but you know, you put yourself in Andre Mariner's position in real time, and Andre thought that was a penalty. And I tell you now, people think referees don't care. They do care. And I can tell you now, Andre Mariner didn't sleep that night, and he hardly ate, because he knew as soon as you give that penalty, that when the players surrounded him, he knew, he thinks, hang on a minute, I think I've made a mistake here. But it's nothing he can do. He's given the decision. And that's where I think technology's got to start coming in.
Mark Clattenburg's a friend of yours.
Yes, he is.
Jose wasn't there in those days. What was Chelsea? What were they up to there?
We'd have to speak to the powers to be. You have to speak to Chelsea about that. I was just disappointed. Perhaps he didn't receive the apology that he should have received after what he went through and his family. That was me. That was my qualms about that. You know, quite rightly, Chelsea come out and defended their player.
He must have gone through. I don't know. You know him. He must have been going through absolute.
Him and his family. You know, we're in the gutter. We're in the gutter. And when you have good friends like Mark Clattenburg, and you see one that's distraught and like he was, and his career was on the line, I think a best friend or a good friend would do what he can to get support for him. And that's why and it's in the book, and that's why I text Sir Alex Ferguson, because he was there on the day he was at the game. There's no hiding place in the Premier League. There's no hiding place. I mean, look at poor Andre, the stick he got for giving that penalty. You know, West Brom fans accusing him because he's a Villa fan, that, you know, that's why he gave it, because he don't like West Brom. I mean, Andre shouldn't have even been refereeing that game. He stood in at the last minute because Lee Probert was injured. But you know, as I say, there's no hiding place in the Premier League. There's so much media hype. There's so much going on now. I mean, even with social media that I experienced, you know, it does get to you. It does get to you.